RamCountry.com proudly presents TNT Outdoor Explosion.
Welcome to TNT. This week, my good friend Clint McCauley and I are going to be hunting with Nelson Outfitters, and we're going to be hunting monster mule deer. This is one of my favorite destinations in the world. This is TNT.
TNT Outdoor Explosion is brought to you by RamCountry.com, Venture Out, HuntandTrophy.com, Logistics Experts, Dead Downwind, your last line of defense in the field, ESP Digital Hearing Protection, empower your hearing, Nature's Fury Nutri-Drink, find your fury, Obsession Bows, the fastest, most lethal bow ever made, Tinks Hunting Products, America's #1 buck lure, 4R Ranch, where hunting meets the mother road, B&W Trailer Hitches, the only hitch for the ultimate outdoorsman, Nichols Custom Guns, when you only have one shot, use Nichols Custom Guns.
On this trip, we really got to travel in style. I booked a private charter with celebrity coaches. And I gotta say, if you have a long way to go on a road trip, this is definitely the way to go. So we got the coach loaded and off to Wyoming we went. Well, the bus has arrived and we have just got our stuff loaded. So we are on our way to Wyoming and hopefully some big mule deer will hit the ground. Let's go. Well, it was a long ride there, but it was a very comfortable ride for us. And we arrived kind of mid-afternoon. And Dave Nelson, who is the owner of Nelson Outfitters, was there to meet us. So we headed to the range and checked the guns and made sure that everything was ready to go. Okay, well, we've landed in Wyoming. The bus has finally stopped and we're hunting with Nelson Outfitters. And my good buddy Clint and I are gonna be hunting mule deer this week. And Clint's after his first mule deer. It's a little bit windy today, but we're gonna get sighted in and make sure we've got everything where it's supposed to be. And then we're actually hunting this afternoon. So if everything goes well, you never know. First day's just as good as the last day. So with that said, brother, you wanna get started, get us sighted in, and let's see what we can do?
See what it does.
All right, you're up. just finished shooting here on the range and we're in pretty good shape. We shot 100 yards and we were right on target, and then we were able to shoot the metal plate at 300 yards. So I think we're in pretty good shape. Dave's kind of known as a legend of getting you to about 50 yards. So we've been talking about that for the last couple hours. So hoping he gets me to 50 yards, but if not, we'll reach out to 300 or so if we have to. Time to hunt.
This week's TNT Tech Tip is brought to you by Dead Downwind, your last line of defense in the field.
Well, all right, on this week's TNT Tech Tip, I'm going to show you something, if you don't already know, you'll definitely want to get. The Tow and Stow trailer hitch from B&W. B&W is known across the country as the foremost leader in the marketplace for hitches. And I will tell you right now, this Tow and Stow is a great invention. So I'm getting ready to install my Tow and Stow on my truck. So that you don't have to have different drops and different angles on all your hitches. On this Tow and Stow, it is completely adjustable. Whether you have a low hitch or you need to bring it up for a high hitch, you can adjust it at any level depending on what level you need for whatever trailer you've got. And it's as simple as putting in 2 bolts and 2 pins for extra security, and this is exactly all you need to have the right height for yourself. Now, the other great thing I like about this is with the same hitch in, you literally pull the front pin, and as you can see, that quickly and that simply, you can go from a 2 5/8 to a 2-inch ball, just like I did. This Tow and Stow is an extremely strong hitch as well. The maximum GVWR is 14,500 pounds, and the maximum tongue weight is 1,450 pounds. And this is so simple to tow and stow. You just turn the balls horizontally, and then you drop it to the bottom, and then you raise it up on the back side to here, and then you reinstall your pins. The Tow and Stow hitch by B&W, the last hitch you'll ever need.
Well, it's the first day here at Nelson Outfitters, and we just got done shooting the guns in. Looks like everything's good. We're actually going to go out tonight. Todd's tag is for Wyoming, and I actually tagged for Montana, which is roughly about 40 miles from here. So we're actually going to go out tonight, do a little spot and stock, and see if we can get one down for Todd.
Okay, we just got back to our hotel here. We finished up the first day's hunt and saw a lot of mule deer, a lot of whitetail, a lot of pronghorn. It's crazy, but we didn't see the big mule deer we're looking for. So we're gonna go in here and get some dinner, get cleaned up, go to bed early, and off tomorrow morning at 5 in the morning. Here we go.
Well, it's day one here in Montana. We got here a little bit early before the sun came up, and we waited out here on this ridge over here for get enough light here, and we've come out here and got on a good vantage point, we think, and we're going to start doing some glass and see what we can see. It's
about mid-morning, and we're here with Nelson Outfitters, and we got on this knob overlooking this canyon this morning before daylight, and we've been sitting here now about 3 hours, and we've seen a lot of mule deer all up and down this draw. There's an alfalfa field about half a mile away where they feed during the night, and they come back up in these hills and bed during the day. And we've put a lot to bed this morning, and we're gonna stick it out a little bit longer and see if we see anything else, but we haven't seen the big shooter we're looking for. We've seen plenty of shooters, but we haven't seen the really big shooter that we're looking for. So we're gonna sit it out a little bit longer, and then we're gonna make a walk back to the truck and do some more scouting. But it's an absolutely beautiful country and seeing tons of animals. But this is about as good as it gets. I love it.
This segment was brought to you by Nichols Custom Guns. When you only have one shot, use Nichols Custom Guns.
Well, we spent the majority of the morning looking over this canyon, and we saw a ton of mule deer, but we just didn't see the big shooter that we were looking for, so we headed back to the truck and thought we would try our luck elsewhere. A couple hours before sunset, Dave thought it was a good idea to head to one of the big alfalfa fields. And the reason is these mule deer come out of the hills into these alfalfa fields to feed during the night. So we were hoping if we got there and set up in time, we might get lucky enough and one of the big shooters would enter the field before sunset. Well, right on the edge of darkness, we saw a big shooter heading into the alfalfa field. Unfortunately for us, there just wasn't quite enough light to get a shot. So we decided we would pack it in, head in for a nice dinner, and hopefully he would be back tomorrow.
Much like Todd, Clint was seeing plenty of mule deer and even some shooters in the bunch.
All right, well, it's been a heck of a tricky evening for us. We thought we'd go to the north end of this property here, thinking that we might see some different deer. Well, as we thought we did, there was a couple nice possible shooter bucks. Decided maybe we'll come back to them if we can't see one that we think will work a little bit, will fit us a little better. As we were coming back out and coming back to the original south property, we actually jumped the other deer that we've been watching all day and saw them, and one of them looks really, really nice. I think we're going to try to set up in the morning and possibly see if he'll come back across and see what we can look like.
Clint wanted to be in position, so well before daybreak, they headed back to where they had previously seen the mule deer, and they didn't have to wait long. Clint made a great shot. The deer fell and rolled down the hill, and he could not wait to get his hands on his awesome trophy mule deer.
Well, we finally got one, and it's a dandy. I'm really impressed. I just want to thank Nelson Outfitters, David and Dennis, TNT Outdoor Explosions. This is my first actual mule deer hunt where I actually got one down, and I couldn't be any happier. This is a really, really nice mule deer, chocolate horn, big, everything I ever wanted. I just want to thank everybody.
This segment was brought to you by 4R Ranch, where hunting meets the mother road.
Well, Dave has spotted a really nice mule deer, big 4x4, and he's went up in this canyon. So we've got a crosswind right now, kind of going like this. So we're thinking that our best option is to circle the rim and see if we can drop down over him. So here we go. Well, I crawled up to the edge and I had a clear shot on this mule deer. I settled the crosshairs, pulled the trigger, he stumbled a few yards and he was down. I was so happy to have this mule deer on the ground. It is a true trophy mule deer, and I haven't shot one of those in a very long time. Well, here is this absolutely mule deer of a lifetime that I just shot, thanks to Mr. Dave here. David spotted this guy early morning coming out of alfalfa field. He had been feeding all night and he kind of went a wide way around us. Yeah, so we came around the rim and were able to stalk up here, and Dave luckily spotted him just right below us, and I was able to belly crawl out and make a shot on him and got him on the ground. But you know, at the end of the day, it's just about the experience. What a trophy animal. I mean, I could not have asked for a bigger mule deer, more beautiful, mature mule deer. And you know, folks, whether you're looking for first-class mule deer hunting, elk hunting, whitetail, we've seen so many whitetail this week, antelope for sure, big antelope. Folks, you need to look on the bottom of the screen, and we're going to put up Dave's website and his information. And I highly, highly suggest that you book a hunt with Nelson Outfitters. It's first class, not just from the animals, but to the people. What an absolutely great trip, and I hope we are back again next year. Dave, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for this trophy of a lifetime. Wow, what two incredible hunts we had with Nelson Outfitters. You know, folks, if you're looking for elk, mule deer, pronghorn, I cannot more strongly recommend Nelson Outfitters. What a great operation and absolutely great people. Hey, thanks for watching this week, and until next week, remember, do what you love and share it with your family.
Closed captioning brought to you by ESP America. TNT Outdoor Explosion is brought to you by ramcountry.com. Venture out. huntingtrophy.com. Logistics experts. Dead downwind. Your last line of defense in the field. ESP Digital Hearing Protection. Empower your hearing. Nature's Fury Nutri-Drink. Find your fury. Obsession Bows. The fastest, most lethal bow ever made. Tink's Hunting Products. America's #1 buck lure. 4R Ranch, where hunting meets the mother road. B&W Trailer Hitches, the only hitch for the ultimate outdoorsman. Nichols Custom Guns. When you only have one shot, use Nichols Custom Guns.
Well, after the field had emptied all right. Somebody just started the car behind us. Take those off your head for a second.
I liked it better. I was wanting it.
Like a jack wagon.